Hey guys, we have been given this equation and we're being asked to graph the parabola that goes with this equation, right? Okay, now we are in vertex form. If you're looking at yours and you're like, mine is not in vertex form, I'll link a video for you in the corner, okay? But we are in vertex form, which looks a little something like this, right? Okay, the thing that is cool about graphing these is we have what we call a parent graph, okay? So if you were just being asked to graph y equals x squared, that is what your parabola would look like, okay? Now, we aren't being asked to graph y equals x squared. We are being asked to graph this guy. There's a +2 inside some parentheses and a -4, okay? The good news is this graph is going to look just like this parent graph. It's just going to be shifted, either up, down, right, or left. And being in vertex form tells me exactly what that is, okay? Now, on a quick side note, it doesn't affect this problem, but I will link a video where it does, where if there is a number out here, which ours is technically a 1, if you have a fraction or a number out there, it does affect how tall or flat your parabola is. And let me just show you really quickly. So remember my blue parabola there? That is the same one here, okay? That's my y equals x squared, my parent graph. You'll notice the green one has a 4 out front and it makes it a lot skinnier, okay? The red one has a fraction out front, 1/4, and it makes it a lot compressed is the word that you'll hear often in math terms, okay? So it doesn't affect this problem, but I do want you to know that and kind of see what it looks like, okay? Hopefully you're still with me because I said a lot of words, but I hope they were helpful, okay? So now when we are looking at this in vertex form, the +2 and the -4 tell me exactly where this parent graph is going to be shifted, okay? So this A is what I already talked about, okay? That if there's a number or a fraction there, it affects the shape. Also, if there is a negative, my parabola is going to open down, okay? But ours is positive. We don't have to worry about that. This number here tells me if my graph shifts to the right or left and how many, okay? And for this one, you actually go opposite of the sign. So normally +2, you would think to go right, but we are going to go left. So when I have that +2 there, I am actually going to move that parent graph left 2, okay? Now the -4 on the back tells me how much it's going to shift up or down, and you stick with the sign. So the minus, we are going to go down 4, okay? So another way you can think of it is HK is your vertex, okay? Whichever way kind of helps you think of that easier, there you go. So the vertex of my parent graph is at 0, 0, right? But this 2 and this -4 tell me that I'm going to shift that vertex to the left 2 and down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that is my new vertex. Okay, now depending on your teacher, some teachers at this point, they might just want you to draw a U and you're good. They just want to know where the vertex is and if it opens up or down, okay? We are gonna plug in a couple extra points because there's probably some teachers who want you to do that, okay? Now, personally, I kind of wanna know where this parabola crosses my x-axis, okay? So we're gonna plug in 0 for x and see what happens, okay? Now, guys, this is like one of my favorite things about math, okay? Call me a dork, but with this being a parabola, picture this, it's going to go something like this, right? It's going to cross the x-axis twice, right? So if I plug in 0, if I'm right, I should get 2 answers, right? So let's go ahead and plug it in and see what happens. Okay, so if I want to know where it crosses the x-axis, I'm going to plug in 0 for y, right? So we want to know what x equals when y is 0. Okay, so we are plugging in 0 for y, okay? So I'm going to have 0 equals x plus 2 squared minus 4. My goal is to get x alone, right? So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So I will have 4 equals x plus 2, those are still in parentheses, squared. Okay, now what is so again, I'm just trying to get x alone. Oh gosh, sorry about that. So I need to get rid of that squared, right? To get rid of a squared, we take the square root, right? So I'm going to take the square root of both sides, right? Because if I do it to one side, I got to do it to the other side. Okay, guys, this is where it's cool. Okay, these cancel. And then there's kind of two different ways you can think of this. We're going to do it this way. So the square root of 4 is 2, right? But also, the square root of 4 can also be negative 2, right? Because the square root of 2 is asking what number times itself gives me 4. 2 times 2 is 4, and negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. So how we like to show that is when we introduce a square root, I'm going to write my answer as plus or minus 2, right? Because both of those are answers to the square root of 4, okay? And this is equal to x plus 2, okay? Guys, look, this is where my two answers are coming. Isn't this cool? Okay, so this is where we like to split it off because I have two answers here. So I like to do my cute little arrows, okay? So on this side, we're going to do the positive 2. So we're going to have 2 equals x plus 2. And on this side, we're going to have the negative. So we're going to have negative 2 equals x plus 2, okay? All right, so now I'm trying to get both of these x's alone. So I'm going to have subtract 2 from both sides. Guys, if you hear banging, my kids are playing a video game and they're like on the boss level and they're very excited. So that's what that jumping is above me. Okay, when I subtracted 2 from both sides, I end up with 0 equals x. Okay, so one of my coordinates, when I plugged in 0 for y, I got 0 for x. So one of my points is 0, 0 on my parabola, okay? Now let's check out the other one. So again, I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. Negative 2 minus 2 gives me negative 4 equals x, okay? Remember how we said the parabola should cross the x-axis at 2 points. Guys, here they are. Isn't that cool? Okay, so when we plugged in 0 for y, we also got negative 4, 0, okay? There are those 2 points that are on this parabola. So we've got 0, 0, and negative 4, 0, okay? So here's 3 points that are going to show me a pretty good idea of what this parabola looks like, right? So remember, it's not a straight line, okay? That is for absolute value, but it is a curved line, right? A parabola. So we're going to be kind of like that, okay? There we go. Guys, I wish I could draw that a little better, but that is what it should look like, right? Okay, I hope this made sense. We had an equation in vertex form. We figured out how it would be shifted using these guys, right? And then we plotted the vertex and we plugged in 0 for y and got 2 more points to kind of show us a better idea of what the shape of this parabola looked like, okay? All right, hope this made sense. If you need any more videos, I will link a parabola playlist for you. Okay, thanks, bye.